Hey friends, welcome to Coding School. And today the question that we have, it was asked by Facebook recently in its online coding round. So I would like you to very attentive throughout the session, and please watch the complete video to understand the actual logic behind this particular question. So as this question is super easy, still it needs your complete attention to just to get it. Okay, so basically the question is to remove minimum number of parentheses to make the entire string a valid one. All right, so what do I mean by removing parentheses and making string valid? See, we are given a string of parentheses and lowercase English characters. So our task is to remove minimum number of parentheses. It can be opening parenthesis or closing parenthesis in any position, right? So that the resulting parenthesis string is valid and return any valid string. So basically, what do I mean by resulting parenthesis string? So basically, parenthesis string means a string containing both alphabetical characters as well as some sort of parenthesis. It can be open and can be closed parenthesis, doesn't matter. So formally, a parenthesis string is valid if and only if. How can we actually define a parenthesis string? Is saying it, if any string just obey any of the three condition, then we can say that yeah, this is a valid one. So the first condition that is saying that it is empty. If it is an empty string, then obviously we can say that it is a valid one. Okay, and if it can be written as simple some concatenations of some characters, or we can say if there is no such parenthesis found so far in the entire string, then we can say that yeah, this string also a valid parenthesis string. For example, if we take, let's say, my name. Okay, so this particular string is also a valid parenthesis string because it do not contain anything, I mean any parenthesis in this particular string. So yeah, so the third condition is it can be written as this. I mean, we can we can write any string in between the the valid parenthesis to make sure that it is valid one. For example, this, right? So here, this particular string is a valid string because the parenthesis, the direction of each parenthesis, the opening and closing one is completely fine. And here, in this case also, the parentheses are in right direction. All right. So I hope you got the question. What the question is actually saying to us, I mean asking to us basically. Yeah. So let's take this example to understand what it is actually. Correct? Okay. So let me split all the characters to for you. Okay. So here, what we will do to solve this particular question, that we will simply use a stack. Okay, we will simply use a stack for now, for the understanding purposes, but we will not code the solution using stack, because the stack is basically take much memory. Okay, so we will not use that. We will simply do it by big of one in space complexities. Okay, so let's say we have a stack right here, and we, as you already as you already have heard of that, we are taking the parenthesis into consideration. So that is why we will not use any of the characters into consideration. Okay, the characters should be written the way they were in the string, given string. Okay, so first of all, we encounter a parenthesis, opening parenthesis right here. So we will just push it to the stack and go on, move on marching. And here also we found another parenthesis, which is opening parenthesis. So we will again push it. Now here we found a closing parenthesis. That is why we will just pop it. So why we are following this approach? Why we are popping out this particular parenthesis, opening parenthesis right here whenever I just found a closing parenthesis? See, this is I am doing this particular thing to make sure that this is a valid palindrome, isn't it? So here palindrome means the valid parenthesis, right? uh, we cannot say palindrome. Instead, we will say it a valid parenthesis. Okay, I just told you palindrome just because these are the matching one. I mean, these are the valid one. Okay. Anyway, the definition of palindrome something else. So let's move on. So basically, when I again hit a character which is again a closing parenthesis, and I see that the in my stack the top element is also, there is also a opening parenthesis for this particular closing parenthesis to match with, then I will again pop this out to make sure that this particular parenthesis pair is valid. Okay. So far I found two valid parentheses right here, and I will again just move on, and I see that this is also a closing parenthesis. But wait and see that for this particular parenthesis we do not have any opening parenthesis left, isn't it? So that is why we say that this is the odd one. We need to ignore it, or we need to remove this particular thing in my entire given string. Okay. So cool. I hope you got the solution basically using stack, but it is just it will just take a lot of memory. Cool. So what will our original answer would look like? So the answer would look like something like this. Yeah. So basically, this two pairs of parentheses will be there as you are looking at looking right here, but we will just remove or ignore this particular closing parenthesis in my final answer. So yeah, this is using this is a solution using stack, but it will take a lot of memory. But we can do a very similar thing using just counting variables, just variables, and it will take big of one memory. Okay, just constant memory. So look at it actually how we will do it. So basically the idea is to count the variable. First of all, let's find out the total count of the closing parenthesis. Let me just write the the frequency of closing parenthesis right here. So as you can see, their closing parentheses are 3, isn't it? This and this. Okay, let me actually extract all the parentheses the way they were in the given string, so that it would be more easier to relate things. So yeah, so this is the these are the parentheses present in the given string, you know in the same way. And I am supposed to delete or remove or ignore, whatever you can say, some sort of parenthesis to make this parenthesis a valid one. All right. So basically, what will I do right here is I will simply count something. So let me, just follow the approach. You will get the thing, okay, get the idea of why I'm doing this basically. So let's count the close, how many closing parentheses do I have in my string? So basically there are 3 closing parentheses, isn't it? And let's initialize the opening parenthesis to 0. That means I have not found any opening parenthesis so far in my string because I have not traversed it yet. Okay, so let's traverse this particular string to find out the valid how many, just find out which one is the invalid one. All right, and that will be the minimum. You will see yeah, I understand it will take a lot of assumption, lot of effort to get it how it is actually giving us the minimum one, but you will surely get it when test it using so many different varieties of test cases. So you will surely get it. All right, for now just stick with the ideas that we are moving with. All right. So basically, whenever I hit a opening bracket or opening parenthesis, so I will see that whether okay. For now, just simple assumption that I found a opening bracket. Just you know uh, just increase the opening value by one. Okay. We will see different lot of different cases after this. Okay. One by one, step by step. Cool. So for now, I found the opening bracket in position 0 of this particular string. Okay. So I will just count it as 1. Okay. Again, I found one opening bracket. So again, I will count it by 1. And here I found a closing bracket. So see what this particular variable denotes. This particular variable denotes that how many total closing parentheses do I have in my string. But here I found one, so that is why I need to tell it that I already found one. That is why you need to decrease me. All right. But in the same time, what we were doing, using stack, we were popping out the opening bracket from the stack as well. Okay, to make sure to just determine that we found a valid parenthesis pair basically. So that is why we will also reduce the opening count by one. Okay, or decrease by one, whatever you can tell. So basically, yeah, we will just move on marching. So here again we found one closing bracket, so that is why we will again uh, reduce it by one and reduce it by one as well. Correct? Okay, that's fine. So when we are here and we see there is again a closing bracket, but there are no opening bracket left to match with, isn't it? So that is why we will just stop here, or we can simply ignore it. Whatever we can do, uh, you know, we will simply ignore it, and our final string would be this, isn't it? But wait, there is one more case where this particular logic, could be fail. Okay, yeah. Let's take this particular example. Yeah. So in this particular example, let me quickly write the frequency of close and let's initialize the openness 0. Correct? So in this example, let's see. First of all, I hit a closing bracket, isn't it? When I hit a closing bracket, that means I need to reduce, both the counter by one, isn't it? Just to make sure that I found a valid, parenthesis pair. But see here, here I hit a closing bracket. There were no opening bracket just before it, isn't it? So that is why there will no possible, valid parenthesis for this particular closing parenthesis, isn't it? And how can we just verify it? We can verify it by the opening bracket frequency, or sorry, it's not frequency, but the number of opening brackets. So till now, so the number of opening bracket till now is 0. That means we do not have any opening bracket left for this particular closing bracket. So that is why we will simply ignore it and we will simply move on. All right, by decreasing its value. Why we need to decrease its value? Because uh, we have we had two total two closing bracket, but we just hit one closing bracket. That is why we need to reduce this particular thing. We cannot reduce open because it is already 0. Okay, so while I come here, then I see that again I am hitting a closing bracket. So I will simply reduce it, but I cannot reduce the opening bracket as I already told you. So here both of these two guys are having same value. Okay, there are no more closing bracket. There are no opening bracket that I have found so far. So basically when I hit a closing bracket, so there must be a sorry whenever I hit a opening bracket, so there must be a closing bracket present after it, to determine that yeah, this might be a valid parenthesis pair. So see, there are no closing bracket left. So it is completely I mean um, it is completely what we actually do not care that whatever is present after it actually completely invalid, isn't it? Because we do not have any closing bracket to match with, correct? So that is why we will simply ignore it, and we will simply ignore it as well. So why? Because what is the condition? Basically the condition was when the opening and closing bracket will be same, that means we will simply just ignore that particular part, and just we will just move on. So yeah, so I hope you got the thing. These are two edge cases, all right, that I would like you to understand. And you can just do so many just test it with so many uh, varieties of test cases, so that you will get the logic behind it and why it is actually giving us the minimum result, I mean the minimum deletion number, and you will just get to know it. Okay, so let's quickly code this out. So basically let me find out how many closing bracket there are. So basically there is a count function, all right, which will count the number of closing bracket, and I have initialized the open as 0. Cool. So my final answer is this. So what will I do? I will simply iterate over the string, and if I see that I hit wherever I am, when I hit a opening bracket, then I need to check whether you know whether these two guys are same or not. As I already have explained to you, that if the opening and closing values are same, that means uh, we have to skip it, or we can say just continue this thing. Okay, else we can simply count the opening value, all right, and we do not need to do anything right here. Else if I hit a closing parenthesis, then I need to check if still if there is no opening parenthesis left for this closing parenthesis, then I can say just continue, just ignore this particular part, just go on to the next value wherever they are. So notice here actually I am continuing the loop. I'm just I'm not going down, I'm just going up, and just uh, go to the next character that we have. So basically here we in this case we will not go down, so that is why we need to decrease our close value right here. Okay, as we need to decrease both closing and opening bracket in the while I hit the closing parenthesis. Okay, it doesn't matter that we have a opening bracket or not for this particular closing bracket, we still have to decrease the value of closing bracket as we found a closing bracket now. I hope you are getting me. So cool, I just have decreased the opening bracket as well if there are some opening bracket left for this particular closing bracket. Okay, anyway, so our final answer, if everything went fine, then we will come down right here and we will simply add our final answer, add that particular character in my final answer. It could be the alphabetical character or the opening or closing parenthesis, whichever the valid one, it will come down and it will just be added to this particular final answer. Cool. So here I will simply return my final answer. All right. So as you, okay, just test it out whether it is working or not. It is saying that it accepted. So now just submit it to, okay, again, we do not, yeah, we have constraint 10 to the power 5. So if we just, verify its complexity, just analyze, okay, just see. Yeah, it worked. It worked, but the runtime is, you know, wait, I don't, actually it's big of n time complexity. Well, let's discuss the time complexity right here, along with the space complexity. So basically, see, we we are traversing the entire string, and we are skipping that particular value whenever these two conditions are met. So basically, we are touching each and every character, by traversing the entire string. That is why the in OR's case, or simply the time case, basically the time complexity is measured by the worst case, isn't it? The time complexity is big O of n, where n is the number of, or the size of the string, basically. All right. So and what about the space complexity? See, the space complexity means that what we use in extra, I mean explicitly, if we are using a container or something like that. For example, in this case we were using the stack. For example, we would use the stack for to solve this particular question, but we are using a stack as well as we so this particular final answer is required for this particular thing. Okay, the question required to return to it actually expect a string to be returned in its output. That is why we cannot take this particular thing, take this particular aspect, as the complexity, into complexity thing. Okay, we will not take into the complexity. Instead, this is the requirement. That is why we will not take it into complexity. But if we will use any extra containers to store some values and all, then only we will tell it that, yeah, actually I'm using some extra containers. That is why the complexity is blah blah blah. Okay, so let's say we would use stack for solving this particular question. Here we will just store a number of opening bracket in our stack, and whenever we find any closing bracket in any particular position, we will just pop them out. So in basically, let's say my string is something like this, all opening bracket. Okay, all right, all opening bracket. So I will hope that there must be some closing bracket afterward, to match, to match my current opening bracket with, isn't it? So in this particular case, the stack will contain all the stack will just push all the characters to its top, or just push it and push it. It will go on pushing until it reaches the last. So in this case also, the stack is having big O of n space, where the n is size of the string. In host case, basically this is the host case. Okay, this particular case is the host case for using the stack for solving this particular question. So anyway, here we are not using any single containers to store or something like that. We are using a variable, two variable, basically opening and closing, to count, and we just solved this particular question. Okay, so basically here the space complexity is big O of 1 or constant. So yeah, that's all from me, and I hope you enjoyed throughout the session. And if you have any doubt, you can simply comment below in the video, or you can just subscribe the channel to get such video frequently. Actually, I am uploading uh, a new question daily every day, or uh, in some span, to make sure that you will just have a very very good time, and you will have a very very good understanding of this thing. So I hope it will surely help you, if you just practice this thing more and more. It will just going to help you. And please subscribe the channel, and please follow me on the blogger. Actually, I am writing the blog, all this thing, and I will just I will write the very similar question in my blog, so that you will get in touch with some other question related to it. And as it was asked by Facebook, so definitely you need to be very very attentive, or you need to be very very focused to this particular question, how this question works, how the logic works. Because this type of companies do not see that whether you solve this particular question or not, but they what they actually see, look what they actually looking for is how you solve this particular question. Okay, so the approach, the thinking ability of your should be very very sharp. Okay, so cool. Okay, I do not want to bore you anyway. So thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment, and share, please. Okay, share with your friends and your colleagues, so that they will also get the very very good idea of this particular question. So thanks.